Hey, what's up mortals? It is JamesCfer here, and before we get into today's video, there's a few things I'd like to say. Firstly, oh wow, we've hit 4,500 subscribers. I wasn't expecting that so soon. So, let's see if we can go even beyond this and hit 5,000 by the end of, let's say, next week. So, if you get the chance, United States of smash that like button. And if you'd be so kind, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Now, on to the next thing, my Patreon. I've just recently redone everything on it, setting up different levels and such. So if you'd like to go check that out and see if you can support me over there, there's a link to it in the description below. Alright, and I think that's it before the video. Oh, thank you to my amazing editor, let me get up his Discord. King Explosion Murder. He's made a massive difference in the recent videos, and he's improved the quality of the channel by a lot. I owe a lot to him, so thank you. Now, into the video. What if Deku was a Saiyan? Yeah, I know I've done this video already, but it's had a lot of plot holes fixed and a number of other things in it fixed. So, what if Deku was a Saiyan? Let's say his dad was a Saiyan, his mother was a human. Well, let's say Deku woke up one morning with a tail. Deku would call his mum in to see. She knew that Saiyan blood was kicking in, and before Izuku's father left, he said to Deku's mum that her DNA, since she was human, would postpone the Saiyan DNA until a certain age. He would start with growing a tail, and then more and more Saiyan-like features would appear. He told her that once he had a tail, he was not to see the full moon at all. Izuku, thinking he's finally got a quirk, decides to go and tell everyone about his tail quirk. His day started out okay when in the morning, when he was able to catch a villain attack in rush hour, he was able to see the up-and-coming hero Mount Lady in action. And when he finally got to school, he told everyone about his quirk finally awakening. Because in this world where 80% of the population possess superpowers, it was a bit odd and slightly amazing that he had developed the quirk so late in his life, even if it was a weird one that was just a tail. Once school ended, Izuku took a shortcut to get home quicker. He took a faster tunnel than he normally would. It might be seen as a little bit more of a dangerous path, but Izuku was feeling a lot more confident since he had a quirk now. This did end up coming back to bite him, but the sludge villain that All Might was chasing did manage to capture him. It was trying to suffocate him and then take his body. Okay, yeah, it would be considered a pretty bad day at this point, but there is an upside to this. You see, as Izuku was seconds away from death, the #1 hero, the symbol of peace, All Might, saved him with his Texas Smash. The sludge villain was blown away, and Izuku was freed from his grasp. When Izuku woke, he immediately entered fanboy mode, and he saw his idol, All Might. He asked him to sign his hero journal number 13, but gasped in delight when he had seen that All Might had already signed it. But then Izuku wanted to ask All Might one last thing, a question that mattered more than anything else to him, a question that still roamed over his mind for over 10 years, something that had been answered countless times with the same sad answer. Can I become a hero, even though my quirk, in this case, does nearly nothing for me? It's just a tail. Before Izuku could finish asking that, All Might was already ready to leave. This caused Izuku to panic. He may only have this one and only chance. If he doesn't take this chance, then he'll never have another chance to ask All Might. He'll never get All Might's input on this question. So he decides to take hold of All Might. All Might jumps into the air, and All Might then notices that Izuku is now holding onto his leg for dear life. So when they landed on a rooftop, and because All Might's transformation was running out, when they landed, there was a huge pile of smoke everywhere. When it cleared, it revealed a skinny, almost anorexic looking version of All Might. Izuku was shaken by this. He asked where All Might went. The skinny man looked at the young boy, and he said that he was indeed All Might, and this was his true form. He told him his real name, and then Toshinori went on to explain to Izuku that 5 years ago he fought a villain who mortally wounded him, and completely destroyed his respiratory system. It was only because of countless doctors that he even survived. This injury has caused massive limitations to All Might, as he's now only able to do hero work for several hours of the day. Izuku asked him if it was that hero with the chainsaw ability, and Toshinori explained that the public doesn't know about this fight. He's done everything he could to keep it quiet. He still has to keep the persona as the symbol of peace. If word was to get out about his true condition, the villains would take advantage of it, cause more havoc. destroy what he's worked his whole life to create. This is why it's necessary for All Might to never show any weakness and to always have a smile on his face, so that people won't have to worry, because he is always there. After Toshinori explains all of this, Izuku decides to ask him the question again. Can I become a hero, even with a quirk like this? Toshinori sighs and then tells Izuku, yes, you can become a hero. A quirk is a quirk, and no matter what, a quirk can be trained. However, I would recommend setting your sights on something that's a little bit more likely to come true. The job of a hero is to help someone without hesitation, to keep everyone smiling, to stop rampaging villains. Toshinori told him that it's alright to dream big, but to achieve the dreams, you must work hard. Toshinori also tells Izuku to keep what he's been told a secret, as the public don't need to know that the symbol of peace is vulnerable. After that, he exited the rooftop, leaving Izuku alone. Izuku was speechless. He didn't know what to say. He'd just been told by his idol that he blatantly could become a hero, but it would cost him a lot of time and a lot of effort. He'd probably have to work harder than just about anyone. Izuku takes some time to reflect and think of what's just happened. As he left the rooftop, he heard an explosion. He subconsciously continued to walk to where the commotion was. As he was walking, he was beginning to realize how great his day was, how he was truly having the best day of his life. Overnight, everything had changed for him. Everything he ever wanted is now possible. He's actually happy for once. Izuku's a bit shocked that the fight from earlier is still going on, as he then realizes, is that the sludge villain? Is that what All Might saved me from? He then feels a wave of negative emotion come over him as he realizes, oh, I did this. When I grabbed onto All Might, it must have fallen. Who's that? Who's that in the... And then he realizes it's Bakugo. He looks around seeing all the different heroes, and then he's asking himself, why aren't they doing anything? A civilian answers, it looks like they've met their match. Plus the villain captured a kid, and things aren't looking so good for that kid either. Another civilian responds, he caught someone? I wonder how long he's been in there. How could they survive being suffocated like that? I thought I'd die only after a few seconds of struggling, Izuku thinks to himself. He cringed at the thought of someone else going through that experience, then remembering that it's Bakugo. This causes Izuku to cover his mouth in shock. It's his fault that Bakugo's gonna die. I'm the one to blame. He wasted his time on me, and now All Might can't even do anything. Izuku looks at all the heroes and realizing what their quirks were. They can't do anything. None of them are strong enough. Their quirks aren't right for this. One of the adults there in the civilian crowd says, they're not doing anything. They're being forced to watch. None of them have the courage to risk their lives. Come on, aren't they called heroes for a reason? They're supposed to act. Izuku realizes what has just happened. People are starting to hate the heroes. It's his fault. But why aren't they acting? It's not right. They're supposed to be heroes. Toshinori's thinking to himself that he's just nothing but a bystander. He can't do anything for this kid. I'm a disgrace. He continues to insult himself. Izuku's just hoping that help will show up. Someone has to do something for Bakugo. And then Izuku sees that look of distress on Bakugo's face. It's that look that just causes everything in Izuku's mind to go blank, and he just dashes out. Izuku runs out to do whatever he can. He's not sure what he's going to do. All the pros look at him and try and get him to stop. They see him just as a child. One of the heroes goes to stop him, but Izuku's just too far ahead. Izuku's thinking to himself, no one deserves this, not even Bakugo. He continues to move forward. Izuku, just at this specific moment, the anger, the sadness, the self-hate, it's all being just, it's overloading him. Something that, within him, he has had building up for ages. He's not sure what this is, what this sensation is. Izuku, as he's running, just feels something light up within him. His muscles intensify, and Izuku looks towards Bakugo, seeing Bakugo struggling against the sludge villain. It just fills Izuku up with shock, anger, and he just lashes out with everything. He leaps straight at the sludge villain. With everything he has, the ground below him just cracks a bit as he leaps. He goes into the sludge villain, and within an instant he grabs Bakugo, and he tries to push the sludge villain away. It's at that moment where something just comes out of his arm. A massive blast of energy, and it just blows the sludge villain away, and the blast just goes straight through one of the buildings. As he grabbed Bakugo, he blasted both of them back towards where the crowd was. The sludge villain reforms, and he starts to go towards the crowd. It's at this moment that All Might just sees what happened. This kid was willing to act even though no one else was. Even the heroes weren't doing anything. But this kid, he leapt right at the target and blasted both of them back away from it. The sludge villain says, I'm done playing with you, as he moves towards where Izuku and Bakugo is. Dead Arm says save a boy as he's trying to get to Izuku and Bakugo. We need to get them out of here. And then All Might surges up with power and he appears instantly in front of the sludge villain. This is for these kids, the ones who are willing to act. Detroit Smash! Such a massive force of air pushes the sludge villain and he just covers the area. The clouds begin to move in the air, and it's like a massive tornado of wind appears around the area, and then it begins to rain. All Might quite literally changed the weather. Anyway, that's it for this part. Let me know what you think. This is a slightly different type of script. It was written by Obito in the Discord and King Explosion Murder. I really actually quite like this type of script. It's a lot more detailed. It goes into what the characters are thinking at each point in time. I want to know what you all have to say about the script. I'm currently using a portable setup at the moment. I'm hoping to have my normal gear down eventually. And when that happens, my audio should be sounding a lot better again. My voice is also a little bit sore at the time, so there's a lot of things working against it, but just think of the script at the moment. I quite like it. If you want to read over it, it'll be in the Discord as well. And yeah, peace out, mortals. Have an amazing day. Let me know what you think. If you want to check out the Patreon, check out the Patreon. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace!
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining.